Welcome to Turning Moments into Movements, where each week we explore simple but powerful wellbeing tips to help you live a balanced and fulfilling life. My name's Leanne Ross, your host and the founder and coach of my business, Happyluia, and I will be taking you through today's 15 minutes of insight and inspiration. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Turning Moments into Movements. Now, this specific episode is going to be all about how to obtain a powerful mindset. And I literally have so much content to cover. So I'm going to cover 5 primary points, 2 points within those points. So there's going to be a lot of information here. So feel free to pause, to take notes, to re-listen as many times as you want, to ensure that you really get the best out of this episode. So first of all, why is it important to have a powerful mindset? This is something that I had really researched and really explored myself, because what I found for a while, I had quite a stagnant mindset. I was quite set in the way I was thinking. Change wasn't happening for me, so I just felt that that's how life was. But when I started to do some mindset work, years ago, and started to focus on changing my mindset from a stagnant mindset to a growth mindset, it really changed so much. If you want change to happen, it will. If you don't want change to happen, chances are, you're going to be resistant to things changing in your life. So this is something that is really, really important to grasp if you do want to make changes into your life. Mindset is key. You cannot make changes without having a mindset that's open to that, that's accepting of that. So how do you do it? How do you obtain a powerful mindset? And, these 5 points are absolutely not exhaustive. There is going to be so many other tips and tricks around how to obtain a powerful mindset. I will probably do several episodes on this. But for the purposes of today, I really wanted to break it down into things that you can do immediately. I'm not looking for you to go and completely change your whole mindset within this 15-minute episode. But the tips I am going to give you are going to help you on that way. So once again, turning small moments, so taking little steps to really lead to those bigger changes. So the first one I wanted to talk about was, who are you surrounding yourself with? And this is key. If you don't have the right support around you, the right types of people around you, changing your mindset is really difficult. You need to be around people who inspire you, who bring you joy, who support you, who genuinely care about you. And I certainly learned this a lot more when I stepped into business. I needed to develop, I needed to find more people in my life, basically, who were business minded, who were open to supporting me, to giving me advice, because you need those types of people in your life. So find people who also have a growth mindset or want to have a growth mindset, support each other. And what I really like about this first one is the chances are you already have so many people in your life that you are able to be like, well, actually, I do have a lot of people who support me, who inspire me, who have a really good mindset already. So it's just about tapping into some resources that you already have, but also growing new connections. I will be doing an episode on how to develop connections, how to find like-minded people. So I'm not going to go into too much more depth around that, But number one is to surround yourself with those types of people who's going to really help you to grow and flourish your mindset rather than hinder it. The second one is really reflecting on the content that you are listening to and exposing yourself to. As someone who watches and listens to a lot of true crime, it's something that I really have to be mindful of. So are you, actually I'm going to give an example before I go on. So when I was really struggling in the workplace, I was just miserable. I was really stressed out. I was really burnt out. I was just constantly in this cycle of misery. Every single day when I drove to and from work, I would listen to Whitney Houston. I would listen to power ballads. I would listen to real sort of low songs talking about heartbreak and talking about distress in life. And listening to that really set the mood for the day. I was listening to sad songs. I was immersing myself in sadness literally on the way to work and then coming away from work as well. And once again, this was one of the reasons why I wanted to set up this podcast, so you can listen to something maybe a little bit more inspiring, a little bit more uplifting on your commute to and from work. But listening to something that's just a bit more upbeat is really, really impactful. I'm not a musician, but my sister is, and she very often talks about how music can really up-level your mood, can really support mental health. I might actually see if she'll come on to the podcast and talk a little bit more about that, because my knowledge is very surface level. But yeah, really reflecting on what you are exposing yourself to. Something that supports your growth, educates you, empowers you. Are you listening to educational, inspiring content online? Are you watching comedians, before you go to work just to uplift your mood a bit? So really reflecting on what are you exposing yourself to just now? What are you listening to? What is going to really immerse your mood and change your mindset? And how can you change that? If you are like me and do listen to quite a lot of heavy stuff, true crime, sad songs sometimes, how are you going to sort of include something that's a bit more uplifting? So really starting to reflect on how that would look for you and how you can increase that into your everyday life. The third one is to engage in self-reflection. Now, everyone that knows me knows that I love self-reflection. If you're looking for a specific framework, I would recommend Gibbs. That's Gibbs. Their framework is really, really good. It's really simple, really straightforward around how to engage in self-reflection in quite a structured way. So if it's not something that comes naturally, check out that framework. I will pop a link in the show notes below. But the 3 points I would really recommend around self-reflection is take time out each day. I love doing it first thing in the morning and then last thing at night. Just reflecting, you can journal, you can talk to someone about it, you can meditate. Sometimes just sitting for 5 minutes and just thinking, okay, like what went well today? Like where am I at? How can I support my mindset tomorrow? What little changes can I make? So really, really great tool to really help expand our mindset, to engage in that self-reflection. Engage in conversations with people. So whether you are looking to hire a coach or whether you are looking to, go to therapy or go to counselling, or you just want to make a point of speaking to a friend or a parent or a partner, throughout the day, and just tell them a little bit about your day and what went well, what didn't, what would you like to kind of change up tomorrow, the next week, the next month. So engaging in these conversations can be really, really helpful, and they can really help us to be intentional with our actions moving forward if we are engaging in that self-reflection. So using the Gibbs model, taking time out each day for that protected time to do so, and then also speaking to someone, if you do have that person that you can reach out to. Reach out to me. I love self-reflection. So I'm definitely one of those social workers previously who was self-reflecting all the time. It was something that was quite mandatory within our fields that we had to do. So I'm very skilled at it. Probably to my detriment, I self-reflect over everything. So if you do want to have a conversation with me specifically, reach out, connect with me. The fourth one is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is absolutely a buzz trend right now. It's something that lots of people are talking about, lots of people are covering. But really breaking everything down, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is just being present and just being aware. People can add lots of complexities into different theories, different approaches, different toolkits, but really that's all it is. It's just being present and being aware, being immersed in your experience right now. So meditation is definitely something that comes hand in hand with mindfulness. So just being really mindful around your breath, paying specific attention to your body, what your thoughts are coming in. And if you are not a fan of meditation, sometimes sitting, and taking 3 deep breaths, that's mindful practice. You're still taking that moment to just be present and to pay attention with what's going on for you right now. Mindfulness living, so that's also obviously mindful practice, but mindfulness living is, once again, it's just being a bit more present and aware. So an example of that could be when you go out for a walk, unless you're listening to my podcast, just switch off your earphones for even 5 minutes, and when you're walking, just listen to the birds, listen, be more mindful, be more aware of what's going on around you. Look at the colours of the trees, smell the fresh grass, all of that lovely hippie stuff that I really love to do. And if you are sort of eye rolling right now about how hippie I'm being in terms of talking about mindfulness, bear with me, because I really promise you it does work. Just give it a little try and see how you get on. A lot more on mindfulness still to come, but for a different episode. The last one, and I wanted to put this in put this in the episode because this is something I actually still struggle with. So I wanted to be a bit real, a bit vulnerable with you guys, because fear of failure is honestly one of the best things to support a mindset that's going to be really powerful. And fear of failure is something that I've really struggled with so long. So really removing that fear and turning that into embrace. So embrace failure. When you fail at something, see it as a learning curve. Reframe it. Don't see it as an actual failure. See it as something that you can learn from, that you can grow from, that you can change, you can develop, you can use to your own advantage. You can use it as information. And embracing failure really helps us to, move away from scarcity. So it helps us to reduce our anxiety. It helps us to really focus on how we can move forward. We're maybe able and more open to acknowledging the barriers in our way. If we failed at things previously, we get to see okay, this didn't work, so therefore, how can I get it to work this time around? So embracing failure is something that's really powerful. It has certainly helped me to grow so much. It's still something I'm working on, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like failing at anything. I don't think many people do, but really trying to reframe those examples of failure and really trying to see, okay, how can I use this to my advantage? What can I do differently next time? And if you come at failure with that viewpoint, with that perception, it will inevitably change your mindset. It can also help you to feel more confident in yourself, to be challenged. You know, if you reduce your fear of failure, you're more likely to succeed anyway, because you're going to take those risks a little bit more, you know, frivolously, can't say that word. You're going to embrace that challenge. You're going to take things on that maybe before you wouldn't. You're going to challenge your self-limiting beliefs and really dispel them. And it's such a beautiful way to really help your mindset to really embrace this growth, this power that you really want to work on. So really changing that fear of failure and turning it into embracing that learning curve. So yeah, wanted to finish with that one because it's such a controversial thing to say, but you will see so many other people talking about how to embrace failure, how to use it to your advantage as much as possible. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. Get in touch if you have any feedback. Please leave me a 5-star review. I would love a 5-star review. Share this episode with other people that you feel might connect with it, with what I'm saying. And follow me on social media as well as connecting with me. All my information's in the show notes, so make sure you check that out as well. And I can't wait to speak to you next week. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Turning Moments into Movements. Why not check out coaching opportunities with me so you can really begin to enhance your moments into huge movements and begin to live the life you never thought possible? Details are in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, leave a review and share this episode. Remember to also follow me on social media platforms through my handle Happyluya, where you will receive additional daily content. And finally, make sure you join us next week for more tips on how you can turn your small moments into life-changing movements.